Toyota has just posted that tariffs are going to take about $9.5 billion away from their profits this year. Despite the setback, their profits are still strong and their sales are crazy high right now. If we go back to the spreadsheet over automotive news, Subaru up 4.5%. We'll also cover Subaru's finances and strategy today in regards to the rest of the year with tariffs and whatnot. Toyota was up 22%. Hyundai was the closest at up 15%, so 7 percentage points behind Toyota. So Toyota is just guns blazing. However, while many of the other Japanese automakers also saw gains in the month of July, we have Mazda with a quarterly loss of 319 million. Nissan, quarterly loss of 547 million. Honda's profits fell 50% on the backs of obviously tariffs, but they also lost a ton of money on EV investment. Okay. And here we have Toyota cutting full year forecast, and they're expecting net profit down by 37%, not nearly as high as Honda's 50%. But before we get into that, Toyota has just announced a new plant in Japan. I don't know how to say this. This could be Teihachou area of Japan. And well, this is essentially Toyota City in the Aichi prefecture. We're still about 5 years away from the first vehicles rolling off the assembly line. So early 2030. Toyota wants to maintain its 3 million vehicle threshold per year in Japan. What kind of cutting edge technology this will employ will be fun to see, but we're so far away and it's so far out. Who knows what tariffs are going to look like in 5, 6, 7 years from now. We don't know what they look like tomorrow, right? So let's get back to the finances here. So Toyota still posted a net profit of 841 billion yen from April to June, down 37% from the same period last year. This quarter had to deal with the 27.5% import tariff, but going forward, and it should be implemented this month or sometime next month, but they're still at 27.5% import tariff until Trump signs an executive order to reduce it to the 15% on parts and vehicles from Japan. Chief Accounting Officer Takanori Azuma says, if there's excess capacity in the U.S., we will make use of it. There's about 50,000 units of excess capacity out of the plant in Alabama. That's where they make the Corolla Cross. They could definitely sell more Corolla Crosses, the hybrids especially. It's hard as hell to find a Corolla Cross hybrid. And they could maybe do some of what Honda's planning to do, and that is to run hot 24/7. Running a third shift at night as well. So we'll see what Toyota does to ramp up production. They're not showing their cards right now. They might have a little bit of production capacity available in Mississippi where they build the Corolla sedan. They might have a little production capacity available in Kentucky, the world's largest Toyota plant, where they build the RAV4. They build the Lexus ES, but that is getting moved to Japan soon. And they also build the Camry there. In Indiana, they make the Grand Highlander, the Lexus TX, and they also make the Sienna and Standard Highlander. I don't think they have a lot of production capacity available there, but who knows? Maybe again a third shift could help. In San Antonio, where they make the Tundra and Sequoia, that's at max capacity as far as I'm aware, so they're not going to be able to build more trucks there. Tacoma comes from Mexico. They're not going to try to increase capacity there due to tariffs. Canada, they make the RAV4 and they make the Lexus NX and the Lexus RX. So they're not going to try to ramp up production there intentionally. They'll probably just, business as normal north and south of the border. Price adjustments. Yes, there's going to be price increases here. There's no doubt about it. Honda's going to be doing it. Subaru's already done it. Mitsubishi, like every manufacturer. I don't care even if it's Ford, who is not handling the tariffs that well either. All these manufacturers have to jack up prices. But the problem is cars are already too expensive. They're already priced out of most people's budgets at this point. New car prices still around $50,000 on average. We need more affordable vehicles. And by raising prices, that's not going to help the situation. Toyota's trying to reduce its dependence on North America for sales. Where are they going to turn? I mean, China is a dried up market for Japanese autos. Exchange rates are still favorable for the Japanese yen, but it keeps rising in value, the yen. So that's going to keep reducing profits from other markets like North America, like Europe, plus the tariffs on materials as well. That's not going to help, especially aluminum and steel, for example. I just heard that microchips were signed overnight. So microchips or semiconductors coming into the United States is 100% tariff. So they plan on increasing sales. Okay, they can do that. There's definitely demand for Toyota vehicles where they can increase sales to make up the difference here. They can reduce costs. There's always ways to reduce costs, and expanding profits from parts and finance. Okay, so jacking up the price of parts, great. And also jacking up interest rates when you go to finance a new Toyota. And sales are up 7% in the first quarter for Toyota. Sales in North America increased almost 13% year over year. Japan rose 11.5%. I think I saw somewhere that Europe was 2% up. North America accounts for a third of Toyota's sales, and Japan is 20% of Toyota sales. Asia, including China, is 17%. This is actually really low, this 17%. If you look at like Nissan or Honda, for example, maybe even Mazda, Asia accounts for more than 17% of their sales. Toyota's also, despite tariffs, Toyota's also sending more vehicles from Japan to the United States. Exports from Japan to the US are up 23% from last year, but that was just in the month of May. They reduced it a little bit in the month of June. But let's finish on Subaru here. Subaru is rethinking EVs just like Honda on a massive level. Sorry, Abe's behind me smacking me, and braces for a $1.5 billion tariff hit as profit declines 16%. Well, not as bad as Honda's profit decline. That was 50%. All right, so Subaru is going to dodge $1 billion in tariffs because of the tariffs are going from I just spilled my espresso, 27.5% to 15%. And like Honda, they're expecting the profits to fall 50% by the end of this year. And just like Honda, Subaru's also reevaluating its massive investment into electrification. Subaru wanted to spend over $10 billion on EVs and hybridization. It's no longer going to be the case. They also want to make more vehicles out of its plant in Indiana. Subaru has said it's wanted to electrify all their vehicles by the first half of the 2030s. Now they've just revised that to achieve 50% of electrified vehicles sometime after 2030. All right, so like the goalposts not even have been moved. The goalposts have been taken down. They just are saying, we're not committing to crap right now, but we will commit to making more vehicles in our Indiana plant, and we will commit to hybrids. That's what they're saying. Not focusing on fully battery electrics right now. The pace of battery EV penetration has slowed considerably, said Subaru. In addition, environmental regulations have been relaxed, and they think the pace of BEV penetration will slow down even further. Now, Subaru still is very reliant on their imports from Japan. Half of their vehicles sold in the United States are from Japan. The factory that they have in Indiana made 345,000 vehicles last fiscal year. It has a capacity of 400,000. So they're going to ramp up for sure. They said in extreme cases, they could burn as high as 500,000 vehicles per year. The current supplier base is only geared for 370,000. So their factory can produce more, but their suppliers can't, at least not right now. But they will ramp up production little by little by little. Hopefully they can get over 400,000 units in the near future. So Subaru's in a tough place. So we just talked about how a third of Toyota sales come from North America. 70% of Subaru sales come from North America. And just to put these numbers in perspective, Subaru sold 171,000 vehicles in the United States this past quarter. Canada was 19,000. Europe was only 5,000, and Japan was 24,000. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more financial updates here on the channel. If you want to see financial updates from maybe the European automakers or the American automakers as well, just let me know. And hopefully I can find some from the Korean automakers. I think that would be interesting. Their sales are burning hot, the Koreans, and their prices seem to be very low, meaning they're discounting the cars quite a bit. They have really good incentives. So I wonder how that affects their bottom line. I'll catch you in the next one. Have a great day. Peace.